Hi everyone, this is Prachi. Today I'm going to be answering a lot of curious questions asked by children on Google. The first one is, why isn't the sky green? So in fact the sky could have been green if physics worked a lot differently. So when the sunlight hits the Earth's atmosphere, different types of lights get scattered in different ways. So sunlight has all different colors of light. It has red, it has green, blue, yellow, all of these colors. But the issue is that red, green and all of these other colors don't actually scatter as much as the color blue does. Because it's able to scatter and spread itself a lot more because of its wavelength, that is why the sky that we see today is blue. The second question is, do fish get thirsty? Well, the answer is yes and no. If you know, there are different types of water bodies. There is a salt water body and then there is rivers, which is fresh water body. The fish which swim in seas, which has a lot of salt, essentially keep gulping water. But because it has salt, it keeps throwing this salt out through its gills. And it's the other way around for freshwater fish, which you see in rivers and small ponds and lakes, where water is constantly flowing through them. So they are overhydrated, and that's why they, instead of focusing on drinking water, they're constantly peeing out water. So yes, some fish get thirsty, but the others are overhydrated all the time, 24/7. What would happen if the Earth were to stop spinning? It would be super dramatic. Today, the Earth spins at a speed of 1670 kilometers an hour. And so if everything were to stop, everything which is not nailed down, which is buildings and lakes and ponds and oceans, all of this would still keep spinning. And this would cause massive destruction, tsunamis, and massive winds. Over time, our days would actually look a lot more longer. It would span an entire year. We would have 6 months of sunlight, 6 months of darkness. The magnetic field which surrounds our Earth and protects us from harmful solar radiation would also go away. So well, let's hope that the Earth keeps spinning. Why do onions make us cry? So onions have a defense mechanism. So when you cut them, you break their cells open, releasing an enzyme which turns certain sulfur compounds into a gas called PTSO. Now when this gas comes in contact with your eyes as a reaction, it produces a mild acid. And your eyes hate that, and to be able to wash that out, your eyes end up making tears so that it goes out of your eyes. A pro tip is, if you chill that onion inside your refrigerator for a while or cut it under running water, it slows down the enzyme reaction. Why is yawning contagious? Well, scientists still don't have a perfect answer, but it is related to two things. One, which is empathy and your brain synchrony. So your brain has these things called mirror neurons, which ends up mirroring whatever the other person is doing, and that is why whenever you see another person yawn, you might end up yawning as well. The second reason is it might actually be a leftover survival trait, wherein many hundreds of years ago, this used to be a tactic to be able to coordinate rest times between humans, and so that is why you're more likely to yawn when you see your friend or your family member. Why is the space completely dark? Actually, the space is full of sunlight. On Earth, the reason why we see light is because it bounces off of, the stable and air molecules and water droplets. In space, there is just vacuum and there is nothing to scatter this light. And that is why unless you're looking directly towards the sun, or you're looking at a planet which is lit up, or if you're looking at a spacecraft, all you might end up seeing is pitch black. And so that is why the space is in fact nature's biggest blackout curtain. Could humans live without the moon? Well, technically yes, but then the Earth would be a very unstable and a lot more less friendly place. The moon helps stabilizes a lot of our tilt, and that's why it makes seasons predictable. If it weren't for the moon, there would be a lot of climate swings. The other important point is that the moon also helps create a lot of tides. It helps shape the coastline a lot better, and it also helps create a lot of the early life as we know it. And so without that, it would disrupt a lot of our coastlines right now. In fact, our nights would also become a lot more darker. Why do we get goosebumps? Well, it's an ancient reflex which we inherited from our furry ancestors. So whenever they were a little scared or feeling cold, these tiny muscles at the base of our skin, which held hair, would contract, and then that would make hair stand up, which would trap a lot more heat. so that they could feel warmer. In the case of animals, that would actually make them look a lot larger to their predator. So now today, while human body hair is actually not so much to make some of this reflux work in the same way, but it's sort of just stuck around. So maybe the next time when you're feeling cold, when you're listening to your most favorite song, you might end up experiencing a little chill bump wave. Why do we dream? Scientists are still figuring that out. But dreams seem to be a way of brain's way of organizing your memories, your emotions, and your experiences. So when you sleep, your brain ends up replaying some of these memories and then mixes them with a lot of strange stories, and that is why you end up having some of these bizarre dreams. Some even say that this is just brain's background noise, which could in fact help you prepare for real world challenges or for the day ahead. Either way, it's proof that your brain is actually never truly off, even when you're flying through candy mountains with a talking llama. If you enjoyed listening to some of these fun facts, let us know which one was your favorite, and if there are any other fun facts that you would like us to cover. And for more such content, like, share and subscribe to our channel. Just like, share and subscribe.